Hello again from my front porch. Well, my temporary front porch. It's actually from my hotel room here at the Hilton Garden Inn in Georgetown here in Washington D.C. See, here's outside my window. I'm up here on the 8th floor. See, it's a little ways down there. Glad I'm able to use the door in the elevator to get down there, as opposed to I'm just here with my favorite companion for the next couple of weeks. My travel companion, the big suitcase. I packed it full and just made it under the 50-pound weight limit. I mean, like literally, it was like 48.5. I have 2 weeks worth of stuff that had to get packed in there, and I think I did a pretty good job. Thank you very much. And in fact, it's that whole rolling stuff. I used to fold everything and try to make things fit, and even like suits and stuff. Oh, well, I have to take a garment bag because you have to hang the suit and stuff. And I suppose if you're really serious about stuff, that's the way you travel. I mean, if I was taking a tuxedo or something, I'd probably be a little more specific about it like that. But it's not a tuxedo. It is a nice suit, but it's not a tuxedo. And so, again, it got folded up and then rolled. And I've discovered that when I pack things in here, all rolled like this, see, when I pack things in so that, come here. So I pack things in here so like, the shirts, so like they're rolled up like a burrito, that when I take them out, when I take them out of the luggage and hang them up, they like this shirt here. This was rolled up, and then I just took it out last night when I got to the hotel room, and I took it out and I hung it on the hanger, and ta-da! Today, wrinkle free, just like that. Now, of course, I am picky about the shirts that I select to roll up. I have some shirts at home that wrinkle very easily. I mean, you can just it can be no wrinkles. You hang it up and just look at it and go, I wonder if it's wrinkly. And whoop, it's covered in wrinkles. Okay, a bit of an exaggeration, but still, those are the shirts I don't take for something like this, because I will iron stuff if I need to. I mean, I don't mind, but I prefer not to have to do that, and so I try to pack the things that's not going to be an issue for. But anyway, so I was messaging with a friend earlier today, and we were talking about my schedule here this couple of weeks, and they said, well, it's a good thing you're a high energy person. And I said, that might get put to the test. I appreciate it, but it might get put to the test, because Monday I got on a plane and flew to Fort Lauderdale. Spent time down there meeting and greeting with various leaders in Baker Construction, or Baker Concrete Construction's Fort Lauderdale location, which again is most likely the one that I will ultimately wind up being based out of in a year or so, assuming I do have to relocate. Again, we may decide that I can stay in Des Moines. I don't know how likely that is, but you never know. It could happen. Anyway, but so I was down there, I was meeting with people. Now down in Fort Lauderdale, that's not just the folks that run stuff down in that, for the business in that area. That's also where the big wigs of the company, the top level, like the CEO is there, my boss, the senior vice president is there, and so all of the top executive folks are there, the top departmental leader folks. And so again, it's another reason why I very likely would be down there. Not that I'm trying to over glorify myself, but because of the role, the function I'm doing as the head of training for Baker Concrete Construction. Well, technically, Baker Construction Enterprises is technically the name of the entity, because that's the umbrella entity. We had lots of little subsidiaries. Baker Concrete Construction is a big part of it, but there are other companies under that umbrella, and so the actual entity that I work for is Baker Construction Enterprises. I should get more in the habit of saying that. Anyway, so I was in Fort Lauderdale, did the meet and greets there, reviewed training content with some folks and got feedback and input on things. And then my boss and I flew up here to Washington, D.C. And we've been here for the last couple of days hanging out with folks at the D.C. office and getting to know individuals there. Again, reviewing. These folks here have done a great job of starting to put together some training stuff because they desperately needed training. And then they put it on pause because my boss told them, hey, we've got these guys and they're going to start working on some stuff. So we don't want to have you putting something together and then we're putting something together and then there's confusion. We'd like to make sure it's all one thing. And so the DC guys, they said, okay, we agree. They backed off and they stopped. But that was on a promise that something was coming in the short term a few months ago. and for a variety of different reasons, that had not materialized. And one of the reasons for it not materializing is why they came looking for me, because they seem to think that I'm the guy who can get the job done, that I have both the experience and the passion to do the kind of work that they're wanting done, and so they're hopeful that I'm going to be able to make that happen. And I'm confident that I can. I know it feels a little weird for me to say. Almost sounds a little arrogant, a little prideful, but that's not the way I intend that. What I'm saying is this is what I do. This is what I have embraced as my calling, my what I get a thrill out of going to work to do, my passion, if you will, in a professional sense. And so the idea of doing what they're wanting to do is totally in line with that. And so I'm very, very excited about the opportunity. I think it's going to be really, really interesting. And so far, I've not met very many individuals who are not fully on board with that's what you want to do? Let's do that. And so I'm in the midst of gathering input on actual content, and we're moving forward with changing some of the dynamics around and getting it primed and ready so that in just a matter of months, we can finally get this off the ground and get it launched, starting with training their field leaders. And so that is where we're going to start the ball rolling, and then you'll be fleshing that out and working it through the cycles of things. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing here in DC this week. Now, that kind of wrapped up today. Tomorrow, I got to pack up the big suitcase, and I got to take it over across town. Well, not completely across town, but a whole different part of town, because I'm going to be moving into the hotel over by the convention center, because I'm going to spend up until next Wednesday at the ATD International Conference and Expo. And I'm not just at the conference. Sunday, I will be doing my own presentation. It's based off the stuff in my book, Learning While Working. Monday, I am doing a press briefing where I'm going to be interviewed by members of media, not just from the United States, but other countries as well, about structured on the job training and about the book and stuff. And then on Tuesday, I've got the actual author book signing in the ATD bookstore. ATD, of course, being the publisher of Learning While Working. And so I actually have a book signing event scheduled for in the ATD bookstore, where throughout the event, they'll be selling my book at the ATD bookstore too. And at the author meet and greet event, which, again, is, who wants to come meet me? We'll find out, I guess, if anybody does. But that's also time when I would be signing copies of the book as well. So I'll see if anybody wants that too. We'll find out. It's still a little surreal thought of me that I write this book and the people actually pay money for it, and then they want me to sign it. That's just anyway. So that's all going on Tuesday, and then later in the day, towards the end of the day Tuesday, I'm also part of ATD's Public Policy Advisory Council, and every 3 years we put out the Skill Gap Report, and there's a presentation on the Skill Gap Report that I will be taking part in, assisting with that as well. And so all that's going on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, there is still some conference stuff going on, but I am going to sneak away a little bit in the morning because I'm going to go hang out with an old friend of mine. You probably know him as the senator from the state of Tennessee former governor of Tennessee and former Secretary of Education and former candidate for President of the United States, Mr. Lamar Alexander. Lamar and I go way back to when I ran for state senate myself. It was the same time he was running for president. That's where we initially connected up, but we really bonded quite a bit because we had a lot in common philosophically when it comes to politics. And more importantly than that, we had a lot in common when it came to music. We both enjoyed the music of Albert E. Brumley, who is a very prolific gospel music writer. And if you've heard songs like Turn Your Radio On and I'll Fly Away and songs like that, Albert E. Brumley songs and a whole bunch of them. And I have a couple of albums of Albert E. Brumley Jr. singing his dad's songs. And on those albums, on both of them, one of the piano players on several of the tracks is Governor Lamar Alexander. And so I actually had Lamar sign the albums one time for me. But anyway, so while I'm in town, I thought, you know what, I'm going to stop by and I'm going to say hi to Lamar. So I'll be stopping in and doing some of that on Wednesday too. All that's going on. Oh, and then Monday morning, I didn't mention it, Oprah Winfrey is the keynote speaker at this event. This is a big deal, this conference. Last year it was Barack Obama. This year it's Oprah Winfrey. And not discussing their politics, not discussing what you might think of them in that sense. But these are big A-list names, and this is a big event and to draw in individuals like that. So, really excited for all that. And then Wednesday, I get on a plane, pack up the big suitcase again, and boom, down to Houston, Texas, where I'll spend 2 days down there, meeting and greeting the leaders, talking through curriculum, and getting connected with individuals. And then finally, I'll be able to fly home and spend some time at home. Probably not a lot, but at this point, I don't have other trips planned yet. But I predict there'll be more coming up very soon. Anyway, I'm just exhausted just talking through all of that. Oh, and we're only halfway, not even halfway through. All right, well, I need to go get some nourishment and then just kick back and relax, because this may be one of the last times I get to just do that during this 2-week stretch. So with that, I'll let you go, and I'll see y'all next time from my front porch, wherever it happens to be.